check, 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need, get over the fear, and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello everybody, Michael Quarles with the Michael Quarles Show. Thank you for popping in and listening to our real estate show. Today we're going to answer a few questions. And remember, if you have a question that you want answered, all you have to do is send it to support@michaelquarles.com. And one more time, support@michaelquarles.com. And we will get your question on the air and hopefully answered. If I can't answer it, I'll absolutely say I can't answer it. Yesterday's question was outstanding, or questions were outstanding. I really enjoyed that. Actually, I've been doing a lot of enjoying of doing these podcasts. I hope you folks out there in the podcast land enjoy listening to them. And I haven't lost any listeners. Hopefully I've gained some listeners. So remember, it's very, 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 very important to me that you guys go on iTunes and give other people that may be interested in real estate a reason to jump on our show, and you do that by giving us recommendations. And we could use all the recommendations we can get, because at the end of the day, it is about helping everybody else. I mean, long time ago, I stopped worrying about my peer group on if, they were going to take something from me because I helped them. I don't believe in that. I believe in the idea of prosperity, abundance. That means I can never lose what I have. I can only gain. If I help people gain wealth, then in fact that it's helping me gain wealth, because it's just one of those things that I believe in. And abundance is just all around us, guys and gals. It's all around us. Look around us. Abundance is there. And when you have an abundance mentality, good things happen. Actually, the other day, I don't know if I brought this up yet. If I haven't, I'm going to. My job, one of my daily goal for the day, one of them was that I was going to go buy myself a homeless sign and actually hold a homeless sign and have a picture taken of me with my homeless sign being held. And then I was actually, that was my goal. So the first day I did it, it was raining outside and there weren't any homeless signs. So apparently homeless people are people that need to be fed. When the weather is such, they don't get out in the rain. I guess I can't blame them. But the day after was pretty sunny in my city, so I had the ability to have someone sitting out on the corner, and it said, and his sign was cute. It was very cute. It said, if I can remember correctly, old and ugly. And I think we'll do everything appreciated kind of stuff. It was on a white cardboard with pink letters, and I thought the white and the pink was kind of cool. And this guy was old and ugly. I mean, I took a picture of him with me, and it was kind of really, really interesting for me to see him. I haven't been to the point in my life where I wanted to hold a sign on the side of the road and do that. So it was hard for me to have that perspective. But when I asked him to take his picture with me, it was really that was intimidating for him, to say the least. When you take a picture of someone that you don't know, let's face it, here I am, a bald guy and look like a police officer, and I only say I look like a police officer because I get that a lot. Here I go. I try to put my arm around him and again get in the little selfie, and I was so intruding on his personal space. It was awkward for him, and I tried to put my head as close to his as I could, and I got a big fat head, so that's we got to get real close if we want to get my head in the picture. But he did pretty good, and I asked him where he was from, and I think he said Madeira. I think his name was Tom, and asked him how much he wanted for his sign. He said a couple bucks or so. And asked him if he was in town, what he was doing. He said just passing through. He was absolutely just passing through. And I'm not going to say my city, but he was passing through time. And that's unfortunate when we arrive at that spot. And I think a lot of us, even though we may not be homeless and hungry like Tom was, we are just passing through time. And that's unfortunate. I mean, sometimes if we don't realize that's where we're at and we don't stop and change that, then we just become older, look back on it and ask ourselves what we accomplish. And, sometimes the only answer that we can give is nothing. So it would be hard, but he said he wanted a couple bucks for a sign. I gave him $60. And for me, I had a couple hundreds on me. I could have given him more, but for me, the 60 filled my day. It filled me up, and it filled him up too, because he gave me the sign, and he went and got his duffel bag that was on the corner, because we had walked off to the other side of the street. And by the time I got my Bentley and drove away, he was gone. So he didn't have a backup sign. There might be a system there that he needed, just in case some crazy guy driving a Bentley wants to buy a sign. Maybe he should have had a backup sign. And I bet you he thinks about that now. He says, man, I could have sold 2 of my signs maybe. And we'll always have to have systems in business, and maybe that's just one of the ones it is. I didn't think of it that way. But one of the things, we're getting off the tangent. We haven't even started talking about real estate, but this is really about real estate, guys and gals. Life is about real estate. Real estate is about life. It's really what makes us be who we are, and it makes us want to be somebody different. All these stories, all these life events, all the challenges that we have, because I know some of us are just passing through time. And my job, if I can be elected to have this job, is to stop allowing you to be passing yourself through time or pass through time and have nothing to say for it other than you just lived the second. And some of you aren't even living the second. Man. I bet you Tom at one point was probably still is maybe a really nice man. But he sure did let himself down. But I was getting to the point of the story is when I first got Tom, I parked in a bank parking lot. It was the closest parking lot there was to Tom, and got out of my Bentley and walked around the bushes, because you couldn't see my Bentley from where he was, and I couldn't see him from where my car was parked. So I had to walk around the bushes. Went to the corner. There's a 3-lane road on each side. Tom was standing in the middle. And I whistled over to him, and I had to whistle loudly because there were cars and everything. So I finally nodded his head, and I waved to him to come on over. So he ran across the street through traffic and whatever. He was so excited about getting whatever I wanted to give him or whatever it was. He was hoping I was going to give him something, a couple bucks, so he can get a pack of cigarettes, a beer, or go get high, do something. So he ran across to me with no intention of doing anything correctly, like waiting for traffic. But he made it to me. We started talking. We took our selfie, all that kind of stuff. I bought his sign. And what was the cutest little thing? Tom started to dart across the street again to go back to his backpack stuff so he could go. Looked at me and says, wait, I better use the crosswalk. And so I thought that was a unique perspective that we do know. In reality is we do know. Even when we're homeless and hungry, there are rules to follow, and sometimes we don't follow those rules because, we don't have to, or we don't think we have to. So he went over to the stoplight and hit the little button on the side of the stoplight that made the light go red, and his little green guy comes up so he could walk across to get to the meridian where he was at and get his stuff. And at that point, there was no traffic. It was like, well, dude, you just ran through traffic to come over the first time, and this time there's no traffic. But yet he was honoring, I think, the fact that I stopped and helped him, which I thought was kind of cool. I hope each one of you figure out a day, a week, something, maybe once a month that you decide to go outside of yourself and do something beyond doing it for yourself. For somebody else, some organization, somebody that's hurting, somebody that needs what we do more than we do. I always tell people the reason I'm a real estate investor is because I like being able to help those people that can't help themselves. And certainly I can have the debate or the argument with someone who says, well, yeah, but they're not helping themselves. Why should it be my responsibility? And I can raise my hand and say that used to be my belief. I used to have that belief. I used to say, hey, they're where they're at because they choose to be there. Why should I sacrifice my assets giving it to someone who didn't get out of bed and go to work? I used to have that mentality. What changed for me and turned my thought process from, hey, it's their fault for being homeless and hungry. It's not my responsibility to take care of them. What turned that for me is understanding the value of the wealth that we're given and our job as we hold on to that wealth, what we do with it. Because at some point, we are all going to be faced with abundance. Now, my abundance isn't, Bill Gates' abundance. It's not Warren Buffett's abundance, but it's abundance for me. And, my abundance tells me to curb that thought process of always being out for yourself, because, you can't add to the idea of abundance if you're always out for yourself. It's impossible. And I used to be one of those guys that would pass them up, not even look at them, stare at them, nothing. And in fact, I was quite angry at those kinds of folks that would stand on the corner and beg for money, because to me, it's a belittling. At that point, it was a belittling thing to do. I don't respect it. To this day, I can't respect it. I understand it. And it's not my job to be angry with them. It's my job to help them. And some people will say, yeah, but you could have helped him better than just giving him money, because all he's going to do is go do what he would normally have done with the money he would have begged for that day. And to that, I agree. There could have been something more I could have done, but it's not my job to try to lead Tom down the road of prosperity. It's Tom's job. And my job for the moment was to buy a sign. Hold a sign for that moment of the day, and give someone a moment that they don't have to worry. And whether it was just an 8-hour moment or a 10-hour moment or a 24-hour moment or whatever, I don't know how far the $60 was going to take him. That's not the relevant part. The relevant part is that for that moment, yeah, he could, get 2 bottles of wine instead of 1 if that's what he was into. Yes, he could, take some illegal drugs or more of those or longer time of those if that's what he was used to. Yeah, he could. Maybe he didn't have to get up so early the next morning and go stand out in front in the cold weather. That would have been good too. Not my job to judge. It's absolutely not my job to judge. And so here we go. We're going to go question number 1. Sorry about that. I hope, someone didn't hang up the phone or turn off the dial or whatever you guys listen to me on, because I ranted about helping a homeless person who had a sign out that said old and ugly. But anyway, here we go. Question number 1. I live in Los Angeles, and most of the zip codes near me have high median prices, 500,000 to $1 million plus. My top 10 zip codes to market to include these high median priced areas. There are 4 zip codes in the top 10 that are under 300,000 in median price. Should I only market to the lower valued or priced zip codes to start? Or should I include the higher price zip codes as well? What is your recommendation for these zip codes? Keep in mind my marketing budget is no more than $500 per month to start. Well, there's a big question in here that is not asked, and so I'm gonna as I try to answer it, I'm gonna ask that question as well. I would do the lower, I would do the lower median valued houses first, extinguish my marketing dollar there, and and then increase it to the higher market or the value properties. That's what I would do. And keeping in mind that in a higher priced area, and if we compare a higher priced area to a moderately priced area or a lower priced area, they're all medians, okay? So you can't look at like their class of individuals are different. There may be a little bit of difference, but we're not passing judgment on the types of people that live there. We're just talking about the grouping of, we've got 500,000 to 1 million houses, we've got 300,000 houses, and we've got, $100,000 houses as a median. Understand the way marketing works is it's a percentage of what you want to earn at the end of the day. And because what our earning capabilities are is they're also percentages. So if I buy a house that's $500,000 and I say that my minimum dollar, so it's worth $500,000. So my value to the seller, my price tag to the seller, is I'm going to figure 10% of the $500,000 for holding costs, and I'm sorry, for buying costs, those kinds of things, and holding costs. I'm going to figure 10% for marketing costs. So, and a minimum of 20% for me. So my offer on that 500,000 as is a house, that's 10% and 10% and 20% is 40%. So 40 times 500 is 200,000 minus 500 is 300,000. So that would be my maximum offer. Now, 20% of that money of 500,000 is $100,000. So let's go down to the $300,000 area. If it's a $300,000 house, I'm going to do 10% for my holding costs, purchase costs, those kinds of things, 10% for marketing, and 20% for profit. So then what do we have? So we have 30,000 for one thing, 30,000 for marketing, and 60,000 for profit. Now I'm going to go down to the lower end, and I have a $100,000 house. So I have a $100,000 house. $10,000 is for the cost of holding and buying. $10,000 is the cost for marketing that I'm going to assume. And my profit on that is only going to be $20,000. So what this means is if you look at these numbers, when I start marketing, the amount that my dollar produces is relative to the amount that I earn. So my $500 that I may market in the $100,000 arena, which is going to push off to me $20,000, it's going to take more $500 in the larger market. But at the end of the day, the ratios are still the same. So in the smaller, lower value market, you'll see more action. So you'll buy more houses. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't look at it like I'm buying, like I bought 75 houses yesterday. Yeah, but you made a penny on each house. You made 75 cents. Congratulations. You shouldn't look at it like that. You should look at the amount of money total you've made in a year. I don't care how many houses you buy. How much did I make this year? What did it cost me to make? What were my expenses? What's my net? What is my taxable net? And because if a $500 cost of marketing produces the ability to buy a $100,000 house, then it's going to cost you, and if that's the case, say you can do that and you can do that time in and time out. I don't think you can, but let's assume you can for lack of better assumptions. Then it's going to take you 6 times that dollar or 5 times that dollar, of marketing. So you can take $2,500 in marketing to do that same thing in the $500,000 arena, and 3 times that in the $300,000 arena. So you're just going to, it's about your return on investment, what percentage. Now, I do know that there are some characteristic differences in the type of person who owns the $1 million house or who owns the $100,000 house. I know there's some characteristic differences there, which is okay. I mean, that's what's part of what we do when we go out and contract is we start mimicking our prospect. And if we have a very highly educated prospect, then it's going to be important that we act as highly educated as we can. If we have a low educated prospect, we don't want to act educated necessarily. So we want to mimic our prospect, make them feel comfortable. It's a little hard sometimes to pretend to have a PhD and have a conversation amongst people that do have PhDs. However, it's possible. Let's face it. I don't have a PhD, and I bought houses from people that had PhDs before. And I bought houses from people that didn't even know what PhD meant. So so to answer your little question here is I would do the 300,000 market or lower. But here's the bigger question in that's not being asked. Should I direct mail at all? Ooh, gosh. I don't even want to answer that question because I own yellowletters.com, and that's horrible to answer that question because it's kind of a little bit of, the answer could be a little cannibalistic. It could erode at my bottom line, my bottom dollar. $500 is skinny, folks. It's skinny. It's real skinny. But it's bulimic kind of skinny. That's probably not politically correct. I'm sorry. Let's define that $500 for a second. Why only $500? Well, it's only, Mike, it's all I have left. If I get paid $4,000 a month, I take home, and my rent is this and this and this and all this, and I have $500 left. Okay? Can you work more, live less, and to create another $500? What do you mean? Can you get a part-time job? Can you go to 7-Eleven at night and, to be a teller at 7-Eleven, $11 an hour, get 4 or 5 hours a week, times 4 1/3 weeks. Can you make some money there? Can you talk to mom, dad, friends, relatives? Can you make a loan? Can you, instead of going to great restaurants and having top-end beer and wine, can you do top ramen and Kool-Aid? So work more, live less. No, I don't want to do that, man. I enjoy my life. My life is fun. I am excited. Are you crazy, Mike? I'm going to stop listening to you. You keep saying stupid stuff like that. And a lot of people actually have that comment. It's like they want to create change, but they're unwilling to create the change necessary for change to happen. It's weird to me. It's like you want to be successful, but all you're doing is talking about it. If you want to be successful, you have to do something about it. Talking isn't enough. I mean, I can fantasize all I want, but until I take my fantasy and put it towards reality and start implementing it, it's still a fantasy. I mean, we can have good intentions, but if we never begin, that's all they are. And so sometimes we just have to kick our own little butt and just say, I am going to live less or work more. I'm going to find a way to increase my marketing budget. But my goodness, if you can't find a way, say Mike, I'm stuck on $500. That is the number. I'm proving to myself that I can be a successful real estate investor with only $500 a month. So if that's the conversation, if that's the real question, then let's start doing some stuff. Like doing a bunch of meet and greets, 6 degrees of separation. Start talking to people. Go up to strangers. Say, hey, this is what I do for a living. What do you do for a living? Put all those people in your center of influence. Market to your center of influence on purpose once a month. And here's a center of influence. Everybody, if you have a cell phone, anybody that's in your cell phone is your center of influence as long as they live in the area that you want to buy houses in. So if they live in your city, they should go on your center of influence. You on a daily basis, monthly basis, however you want to do it, you go down to Office Depot, Office Max, whatever they call themselves nowadays, and you write on the cue cards, name, phone number of everybody you know. Everybody, I don't care who it is. It could be best buddy, best old buddy, best ex-girlfriend. It could be ex-father-in-law. Everybody that knows you that, of course, doesn't want to harm you, that live in that area. The teller at the bank, the teller at the grocery store, the bartender, the waitress that you always go to at the favorite restaurant, all these people, and then all the people that you come in contact with. My goodness, There are so many people that we come in contact with that we just pass by like they're invisible. Like we're invisible. Can we not grab and raise them and hold them and hug them and say, hey, I buy houses for a living. Do you know anybody that's looking to sell a house? No, shut up. Get out of here. That's all they're... Then you, if they say that, that's what you had before they said it. So what are you going to get? The only thing you can get is positive. The only thing you can get is something that you don't have already. Because you already have a no. And you're in charge of that no. I'm not in charge of your no. You're in charge of your no. If you want to get out of bed and become a successful real estate investor, then you have to get out of bed and become a successful real estate investor. It's not my job. I already am one. Is it easy talking to strangers? No. Is it easy exposing ourselves emotionally? No. Is it easy feeling like a failure until you're not? No, it's not. If it were easy, it wouldn't be worth the effort. But if you keep following yourself, you'll end up at the same place you've been going. You have to follow another self, a better self, a different self. That self better make some choices. And you take your center of influence. You write their name on cue cards. Everybody you've met, everybody you know. I don't care who they are, as long as they don't hate you, as long as they know who you are, know of you, have seen you before. You put their name and phone number on a cue card. If you do not have their phone number, you put where they work, how you know them on the cue card. It's the waitress at the at the bar or whatever. And then I want you to, every morning of the days of the week, not weekends, the days of the week, grab however many, if you divided 22 into however many cue cards you have in a basket or a bag or whatever, grab that many out. So let's assume for a second you have 66 cue cards in your basket. So you're going to grab 3 of them out today. You're going to go and call those 3 people. Some of them are going to be your friends because they were on your phone. Some of them are going to be people that you pay, your barber, your gardener, your whatever, your masseuse, your manicurist, your hairdresser, your tailor, your all those people, your doctor, your attorney, your accountant. Some of them are going to be the waitress, the teller at the bank, the teller at the grocery store. Some of them will be someone you just met last week. You know, you ran in, got a conversation, but grabbed their business card. But if we call those people and we just say, hey, this is Michael Quarles with I Buy Houses, just following up with you, seeing if you knew anybody that's looking to sell a house. You don't know anybody? Well, terrific. You know, stay in touch. How's everybody been doing? Great. Well, terrific. Stay in touch. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye. Call somebody else up. Someone's going to say to you, yeah, one of my coworkers thinking about selling a house. We were just talking about it yesterday. I want to get that phone number. I want to get that name. Call that person back until they get you that information. Make an appointment to have that person get that information to you. Well, great. So you know Johnny over at the whatever. I'm going to call you tomorrow at 10 o'clock, see if I can get Johnny's phone number and name from you. You call him 10 o'clock next day. Answer the phone. Man, I forgot to talk to Johnny. I'm sorry. Man, this is important to me. I need you to talk to Johnny today. Because you know, if you were on the side of the road, I'd come and get you. I'd come bring you gas. Oh, well, now you make me feel like crap because you'd come help me and you want me to help you now? I absolutely do. It's important to both of us. Okay, call me back. I'm going to call you back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Call back not tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Did you get Johnny's information? Man, I didn't. You didn't? Really? I'm going to call you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. This is important to me. You keep doing it. Are you harassing your friend? Yeah. Are they doing their friend job? No. No, they're not. But you would go and stop and if they were on the side of the road stuck, hood up on their car, you'd pull over if you saw them there. Heck, any of my friends, they can be anywhere in the world, and if they're stuck without money, they get home. They don't have to worry about somebody else helping them. All they have to do is call me. So if my friends have that luxury, I have the luxury of asking them who they know that needs to buy a house or sell a house. This is real stuff, people. This isn't casual. I'm going to be the casual real estate investor. I'm going to be the casual business entrepreneur. This is what we do to be successful, is that we do things on purpose And if we have a $500 a month marketing budget, we better be marketing to our center of influence, and we better be meeting and greeting and putting everybody we meet and greet into our center of influence so we can on purpose call them back every month and ask them, who do you know? We better be talking to professionals in our industry, realtors, lenders, contractors, on a weekly basis, adding them to our center of influence. Because if you've got a plumber, if you've got an electrician company, if you've got an HVAC company, and it is their job to go fix houses, we better have those eyeballs in those houses for ourselves. So when they hear or see some seller with the intention of selling, they think of us. But they will not think of us if, in fact, we don't ask them to. It's our job to tell them to think of us. It's not their job to remember. It's not their job to remember. If you're not invited to the party, it wasn't because they didn't want you to come to the party. You forgot to remind them that they wanted you at the party. And it's our job to let them know that we want to be at that party. So if you got $500 a month, should you go off of $300,000 houses, $500,000 houses? What should you do? I'd do the $300,000 market. But I'd seriously be hitting on a big scale. Like it was my air, like it was my water, like it was going to be the one thing that kept me alive for the rest of my life. I'd seriously be hitting my center of influence. Too many times, people expect it without earning it. It's not easy. It is absolutely not easy, and it's not for everybody. If you want to be an investor, you have to show yourself you're worthy of being an investor. If you want to be a business entrepreneur, you have to show yourself you're worthy of being a business entrepreneur. Those are early mornings, late nights. Those are uncomfortable opportunities. Those are putting yourself outside of your boundaries. That's increasing your personal space. It's decreasing your ego. If you're married, have a loved one, you have children, man, shame on you if you don't give it heck. If you just walk through life like it doesn't matter, like tomorrow's going to be better, tomorrow I'm going to start. Oh, yeah, whatever. If you have someone who's relying upon you for their life, and you don't get out of bed, you don't sacrifice something that would be uncomfortable to you and do those things that are going to be uncomfortable to you, shame on you. Shame on you. And there's no one who loves you more or should love you more than yourself. Give that person some love and create a life for that person so that person can create a life for those people who can't do it for themselves. I had 2 questions, but I'm at 35 minutes. And so I guess I'm going to hold off to the other question till tomorrow. I'm really passionate about this kind of stuff, guys and gals. I mean, don't ask me for help if you're not willing to receive the answer. It's so important to me that I help you, that I won't lie to you. That's my truth for you. It is so important to me that I help you, that I won't lie to you. I'm not going to cookie cutter this and make it into something rosy if it's not. This is real work. This is real stuff. This is real things that we have to do. We can get lucky once. We can't get lucky on purpose. So, fall forward. Do those things that you know that you can't do because they're uncomfortable, but you can do them. You can do them. I challenge everybody listening. I challenge everybody listening. When you get out of your car, assuming you're not going to get out of your car in your garage, when you get out of your car, within the next 24 hours in a crowd. Meet one of those people in that crowd. Say, hey, my name is Michael Quarles. I'm a real estate investor. I buy houses from people that are going through foreclosure. I've bought a lot of short sales. Currently, I'm buying some houses from folks that are just tired of being landlords. Tenants were just irresponsible to them. And some divorcees property. I do a lot of probate and inherited properties. And in fact, I've bought some really pretty houses, and I've bought some houses that are so ugly. Man, ugly would be pretty. You happen to know anybody that's looking to sell a house? Oh, you don't? Well, terrific. What do you do? Oh, you're a carpenter. Cool. What kind of carpenter? Are you a framer? Or do you build furniture, or what do you do? Oh, you build furniture. Well, that's kind of cool. Can I get your business card? Nice card. Do you mind if I follow up with you from time to time and see if you know anybody that's looking to sell a house? You don't? Well, terrific. And if I ever need anybody or find anybody that needs some stuff done that you do, I'm going to refer them to you if that's okay. It's fine with you? Fantastic. You have a wonderful day. One last question. Do you happen to know anybody else that, thinking about selling? I know, I just asked that question. I'm going to ask it again. No, you don't? So you're telling the truth the first time? Okay, good grad, fantastic. Good to meet you. You have a wonderful day. Yeah, it's not that hard. It really isn't. Yeah, you know what? You know why it's hard? You know why it's hard? Is because it seems fake. It doesn't seem real. There doesn't seem to be an advantage to it. There's no reward for doing it at the moment. Like if someone that you were going to go and say that kind of stuff to had a bag of money and they liked what you said, and because if they did, they'd give you some of that money in the bag. Well, everybody would go that. Everybody would interview for that job because there's hope. There's the fulfillment there. There's something to it. Yeah, there's a possibility of gain. But yeah, just talking to strangers, man, I'm not gonna. Why? They don't need to talk to me. I'm busy. They're busy. I don't know them. They look at them. They're odd looking. God, they don't even look right. I can't talk to that person. Oh, she's with her child. I can't interrupt them. Oh, look. He's just now getting in his car. I can't do that. Yeah, well, you can't. If you can't, you're right. Either way, you're right. I know I'm right, by the way. I know that if you just stop and say, hey, to the lady with the child, beautiful, beautiful purse, nice pair of shoes. How old's your baby? Not a baby anymore at 5 years old, is it? Wow, cool. In school yet? No. I wish I had one. Mine are all grown up. By the way, Michael Quarles, and I'm going to get my spill. It's always reasons and ways to grab a conversation. Gosh, when we wanted to do something in life, we had to grab the conversation. We didn't, you had to start it. You did. When you want something bad enough, you start the conversation. Do you want it bad enough? You got $500 to spend on marketing? You better want it bad enough. You better. All right, I'm done ranting. I apologize to all of you that really wanted a real estate lesson today, and instead of a life lesson. I do apologize to you. Hey, announcement. This is cool. This is really awesome, guys and gals. This is, to me, awesome. Awesome. Write this down. Go get a pen. Got a pen? Great. Write this down. The number 313131. So write down 313131. You're going to put that number in your cell phone like you would a phone number. In the text area, like you're going to send somebody a text, and you would put their phone number there. So you're going to put 313131. And in the message area, and I know, it's only 6 numbers, wants to have 7. It will take it, don't worry. And in the little message area where you write, your loved one, I love you, put the little hearts and the smiley faces, all that kind of stuff. In that little area, I want you to type the word wealth. WEALTH, wealth. So up on top, where you would put a phone number, 313131, at the bottom, wealth. And click send. It's going to send you back a text welcoming you to the daily wealth update. Every day until you say you don't want it, you're going to be talking to me. I'm going to send you a message every day. Just follow along. First day. Try me out the first day. It's free. Not going to harass you, not selling you anything. It's free. Try it out. Every day, I'm going to send you a text with something to do. Try it out. Follow along. When you're tired of me, you can get out. Don't worry about it. I don't care. Hey, I'm just trying to help. But every day, do that. And I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to help you succeed. If you want to succeed, if you haven't touched it yet, if you haven't smelt and tasted it, if you haven't grabbed hold of it, man, follow along. I'm giving you an easy way to be held accountable by me. That's all I got. Oh, and by the way, don't forget yellowletters.com. If you want any marketing done, yellowletters.com. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much. I try not to rant so much on the next one about really important stuff. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.